Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR and welcome to Show and Tell. For the few that are new, Show and Tell's pickup series where I show off some of the cool things I picked up recently, and normally I don't do themes, but I picked up a lot of Sonic stuff. If I were to include the Sonic stuff as well as the other stuff I picked up, this video would be very long, so we're just gonna focus on Sonic. And plus I plan on picking up some other stuff like the Tails and Knuckles Nendoroids, as well as the first 4-figure Sonic Adventure statue, and I plan on doing videos on all of those. So if you want to see all that, make sure you subscribe. Now let's show off something that I typically don't collect, but I managed to get my hands on quite a bit of it. So the first thing I want to show off is this stack of Sonic comics. First up we got the Sonic and Tails Best Buds Forever. We got the first book, Fallout. We have this random one called Scrapnik Island. Then we have The Last Minute, Chow Races and Badnik Bases, Test Run, Zeddy Hunt, and Bad Guys. And judging by the number on the spines, there's like a bunch of them that I don't have. Like Fallout's number 1, and then the next one is going to be number 6. So I'm missing a lot of comics. Now, like I said, typically I don't collect Sonic comics. I've gotten some over the years, whether it be through buying Jazzwares figures and they come with like 2 figures and a comic, or some people just gotten me comics. Now, but the way I acquired these ones is here I work in a retro game store, and I just go into work one day and there's this stack of comics with my name on it. No, so I go in and ask, okay, what's the story with these? Am I taking these home? Are you trying to sell these to me? What's the story? Because I tell them, like, right now I don't have the money or space for these. So they said, well, they're not really worth anything, so we're not going to sell them. So if you want them, they're all yours. Because we got these somehow. I'm pretty sure they're acquired through a trade or something. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll make it fit. So they just sit unorganized on top of my other books I have on that shelf. And funny enough, I actually read the first one. What is this one? Fallout? Yeah, I read book number 1 and absolutely loved it. So I'm new to Sonic comics for the most part. Like, I've read some Archie, very little. I really want to get into like the whole Scourge arc, but those comics are very expensive now, so that's probably not going to happen. But I love how IDW like pretty much takes place like right after Sonic Forces and tries to go for a good story after that. Which, by the way, can I just say that I wish Sonic Forces had a really good story. Like the groundwork was there. We could have had something great, but no, it was pretty much empty. So I do want to read all of these. Some of these it looks like I can just read without any context to be fine. Like, oh, hello Chloe. So anyway, it looks like I can read some of these without any context, like the Best Buds Forever or the Bad Guys. But I want to read these, but it's gonna suck like not having all the context on what's happening. But I'm pretty confident I can still enjoy these. Like, I want to read more of these, but I have no space, as you saw in that picture. I did get another comic, but this one wasn't from that same haul. In fact, this one was actually from one of my friends. Shout out to my buddy Keith. He hooked me up with something that I've wanted for so long. And that is this Sonic Live comic. So, I've wanted this since I was a kid. So, I had Sonic Mega Collection on GameCube, and I realized I'm not very good at classic Sonic games. So, instead I ran to like the museum or history part, whatever it's called, and I looked at a bunch of art. And I looked at a lot of comic book covers. And one of my favorite things that I would see would be this. And there are a couple other arts like the Sonic Adventure art. I really wish I would have gotten those comics too. But I never thought I'd actually get one. So when he came in saying, hey man, I got you a gift, and then I pulled this out of the sleeve, I was ready to cry. Like, again, I've thought about wanting this for a long time, but like, I didn't think it actually happened. And like with the entertainment center being set up the way it is, it just reminds me of like that time, and it makes me miss that kind of time so much. So thank you so much, Keith, for this. This is so awesome. Which, by the way, we did get a few gifts in this video. The next thing I want to show off are a couple of Sonic guns. We got a Sonic Squirt gun, and we also got I want to say a Nerf gun, but it's a Nerf or nothing, and this is X-Shot. So apparently this is nothing. The dart gun, I guess I'll call it, this one was a gift. Now, originally, I got this, like, back in, like, June, okay? Or July, or sometime in the summer. I got this originally for me and my girlfriend to squirt each other, like, with squirt guns outside, having fun, like kids. No, she never got a gun. So, now I just sit here with this Sonic squirt gun, and I guess I'm using it as an adult by pressure washing my car with it to get rid of the bird poop. I'll probably buy her a gun so we can have fun, but, like, we don't have a big yard or anything to play with anymore, so, like, what are we gonna do? But this thing's fun. I shot my girlfriend with this thing once, and it actually hurt, apparently, so now I feel bad. But I love all the decals on this thing. Like, I see, like the signs, like, saying, like, hey, look out, you're gonna fall, like you've seen Generations. And, I don't know, I just love the design of this thing. This thing looks so cool. And it works, like, it's a Nerf gun, it does its job. So the next thing I got is something that I spent a little bit too much money on, but it is what it is. And that is this Gamma action figure from Resaurus. So I've wanted a Gamma figure for a very long time. And as of right now, this is still the only Gamma figure that exists. And I'm waiting for Jakks Pacific to make one that looks a little bit better than this. But what are you gonna do? But I promise you, when they do make one, I'll buy that one too. And I love, like, the printing of, like, the 102 on it. Like, and I don't know, just the whole sculpt of it. Like, it really does send me back to that time of Resaurus action figures. Because I used to collect Resaurus figures. Not Sonic, though. I collected Crash Bandicoot. I've wanted Resaurus figures, but I never got them in the wild. But anyway, the one day I was streaming Sonic Adventure, and I was thinking, you know what? I want a Gamma figure. And I'm looking on eBay, and I see it for like $100 or more or less or so, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna punish myself by doing this, so we did it, now we got it. But it is missing a few things, like it's missing a little scope on the side of his head, and a little jet booster. The jet booster is typically the one that always goes missing. And I normally see other things go missing on this figure too, so, like, I'll take it. I'll take it as a win, because this thing does look pretty sick. But it does disappoint me that, like, you can only move his shoulders. You can't move his elbows or anything. So it has me really excited on, like, when eventually Jakks Pacific is going to make one. And how much better will it be? And these little things right here, like, that's just support for the toy itself. You didn't have that in the game, I don't think. But speaking of, we got a lot more Sonic toys. I mean, it's actually really exciting. But before we get into the exciting stuff, I wanted to show off something that it might be lame on paper, but there's a reason I got it. So we got a Sonic Pop. This one specifically is the one with the ring. I kind of wish we got into one with the Chaos Emerald, but this is the only one that we had at work, so I'm like, fine, I'll work with it. This is fine. So the reason I got this is because my girlfriend got this done for me. It's a pop of me. So it has like a controller with it, and there's also a phone accessory, but I put that back in the box. So what I like to do now is to have these guys as well as a Crash Bandicoot pop on top of my bookcases, and I love the fact that I'm technically in like the same toy line as some of my favorite characters. Typically, I don't collect pop figures. I have the whole Crash Bandicoot line because I just love Crash, and if I had the space, I'd probably do the same thing for Sonic. But now that I have this pop of me, it makes me want to get more of them so I can be in the same toy line as some of my favorite characters. Like, the next one I want to go after is probably a Buzz Lightyear. But pops are addicting, and I'm scared to, like, get more into pops. Honestly, no lie, if I didn't have all the action figures I have now and just had pops instead, that'd be kind of cool. But no, I'm not a huge pop guy. I say that, but I have more pops outside of the Crash and Sonic. Like, I have a couple on my desk of, like, Pokemon and Blue Eyes. But something I do collect is Nendoroids and other figures, like Japanese figures. So we got a Sonic Nendoroid. In fact, we actually got 2 of them. In total, I kind of have 4 of them, one of them being a bootleg, one being broken. The story why I have 2 of these on my desk right now is here. Originally, I had one before it was broken. I've had that figure for like maybe 9 or 10 years. And I played with it the one day, and I always pick it up and play with it every now and again. I don't know if it was the climate that messed with the plastic or anything and like warped it, and then made like death grips on both pegs in his neck, because I go to turn the head, which is a normal thing you do. Like, you see, like, it's not that bad of a thing, and then snap. So I was devastated. So I was ready to buy another one because originally I already had one pre-ordered because I was going to do an unboxing of a brand new one, which is the one that you see right here. But my friend Bryce, who also bought me the Nerf gun, bought me this Sonic because I was going to buy some other figures to do videos on, but at the time I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to buy this Sonic, and then he's like, no, don't worry about it, and then like he sends me a screenshot of him ordering this Sonic Nendoroid for me. So now I have the bootleg on top of my bookcase, the broken one in front of that, and then within the bookcase I have the brand new one with the rest of my figures. And then I have the one that Bryce got me on my desk to play with whenever I feel like it. I want to keep the new one as minty as I can because the matte finish is like untouched, the eyes are still super glossy and nice. Like, it's such a beautiful figure. I've actually done a full video unboxing the thing, so if you want to see that, you can like click up here. But I had so much fun re-unboxing that figure in that video, and it was a blast. So like, check it out, and if you are interested in the Sonic Nendoroid, it is available again. Buy it while it's still available, because last year this thing was selling for $150 to $200, so don't miss out again. And since we're talking about Sonic toys, let's show off some newer figures that we've gotten recently outside of the Nendoroid. So I was after this guy for a few months. We finally got the little 2.5-inch Jakks Sonic with the figure 8 feet, I guess. I thought the idea of this thing was so stinking cute, and I thought he'd be a lot more common than he is at the time of recording this. I had such a hard time finding this guy. I knew he was available, but I never found him in the wild. But he should be one of the more common figures out there because it's Sonic. Like, they always have like 10 Sonics at Target. But I was hunting for other figures and I found this, and I'm like, okay, I'll take this as a win because I've been looking for this for a while. And he has little wheels under him, so it makes me wonder, can he like go on a Hot Wheels track and like do a loop possibly? I might try that. We'll see what happens. But there are some other Jakks figures I've been looking for well over a year, and I finally found them. I was out in Tennessee for a wedding, and we went to a Walmart and found these by the checkout aisle. Typically, I don't go to Walmart. I don't like Walmart all that much, except for deli chicken. Their deli chicken is like really good. So we found this Ray figure that I've wanted for a while. And again, I found it for like $5, so like, heck yeah. I was so down for this. I was so happy. Because I already have Mighty. And I have them paired next to my Jazzwares classic figures, and they all look great together. Speaking of, I should probably buy a Knuckles classic figure. Is there a classic Knuckles? Hold on, let me see. Yep. Yeah, I need that. When am I going to buy that? I don't know. If I find it in the wild, I'll get it, but like, it's not a high priority. I have a Tomy one. It's alright. But something I also got that I was looking for a couple of years is this little Dark Chow figure. I already have a standard Chow, so of course I needed a Dark Chow. Now I need to make a Hero Chow because I like Chow. Chow are great. Now the next figures I'm going to show off, I feel silly because I asked myself if a Knuckles figure exists. Technically, I have one right here. So at Target, there's the Christmas section like for stocking stuffers, okay? It's like a little end cap thing. And they had a line of figures I've actually wanted for a year. But I didn't think I was going to get them. They're part of like an advent calendar set, but I'm happy I waited because now they have even more figures based on it. We have a little Santa Sonic. We have a little Tails with antlers, which by the way, I found most of these all in one swoop except for Tails. And then Bryce buys me Tails, and then shortly after he buys me Tails, I find it in the wild, so I'm like, nah! Then we got a Knuckles figure right here. And there's also a variant within the advent calendar where he has a green hat instead of a red one. Then we got Amy in a little Mrs. Claus outfit, I guess. It looks cute, and this was not part of the advent calendar set. Neither was this Robotnik right here. And then for some reason, they made a little shadow figure, which is part of the line, but it doesn't make sense. I'm debating on making a full video just dedicated to these. I was debating on if I want to do either a full video or like a YouTube Shorts type of video for these. But right now, it's November/December. So right now, ad revenue is paying really well. So I kind of want to do a full video on these. In fact, that's probably going to be the next thing I do. Yeah, let's do that. Now, the last few things I want to show off are going to be things that are not new necessarily, but they were part of my childhood. That these are actually my childhood things, and I got them from my parents' house a little while back, but I thought it'd be so fun to show off because, again, these are part of my childhood. The first thing I want to show off is this Sonic OVA VHS. I found this at a flea market, the flea market that I used to work at way back in the day. And I remember seeing this. I think my neighbor at the time had this with the slipcover, or they rented it or something. Somehow they acquired this thing, or they bought it from a store like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. And I loved this movie when I was a kid. And every once in a while I'll still watch it, but like I watched like a digital rip version of it because like obviously VHS doesn't hold well at all today. And a DVD for it's like stupid expensive, and there's no remaster happening anytime soon for Blu-ray or anything like that, so I'm just gonna accept the fact that I'm never gonna see it in proper HD or whatever, or just get it like fully restored and like brought to newer media. But it is what it is. But as a kid, it always bothered me that I never had action figures based on these iterations of Sonic, and now we have them all over the place. It's crazy. So let me know in the comments, did you watch the OVA back then? Or did you watch it recently? I don't know, did you ever watch the OVA? Because the OVA it doesn't age well. It doesn't age well at all. But I had a good time with it, and I have a fun time watching it still. And the last two things I want to show off are huge to me. So as I was streaming Sonic Adventure, you know, I bought the Gamma figure. But as a kid, I had some of the Toy Island figures. And I was thinking, imagine how cool it would be if I rebought these figures to have in a collection and have them in like nice condition and stuff like that. Instead, because I'm poor and also more sentimental more than anything, what if I go home and look for my childhood ones? And I found my childhood figures. Now the first thing I want to show off is the one that was like my main toy I played with for years. And that is a Frankenstein version of the regular Sonic. Okay, I say Frankenstein because anything from the neck down is the initial run from Sonic Adventure where he has the magnetic feet so he can go on a snowboard. And the head is from the Sonic X release. And then Jazzwares got a hold of these molds and re-released the figure the way to look like this. And I had that figure, but I noticed it fell apart easier. Like the plastic would deteriorate and actually fall apart. This figure never did. I was just really rough on this as a kid because I was trying to recreate the poses I would see in the games, and these figures aren't good for that. And as you can tell, there's a bit of a maraca in there for some reason. I don't know why. It sounds like it's in his head. But until the Jazzwares figures came out, this was my main Sonic figure. And part of me wishes I had like a regular one, like an actual Sonic Adventure one where he had like a proper head that he had and all that stuff back then. But no. Like, this is the one I had as a kid. This is the Sonic toy I played with for a very long time. So I put it in my collection with the rest of my Sonic figures because this is what got me started. This is what I played with when I was playing the games. And like this is my main toy, you know? This was my Woody. This was my Buzz Lightyear. Like, this was my toy. But I think one that's just as cool as this guy is one of my first Sonic figures. Now, realistically, I don't know when I got this guy. I don't have much memory. In fact, for all I know, this probably was my first figure. But the first ones I remember actually getting were for my 8th birthday. It was a bowling party, and I got a 4-pack of the Bendy figures, but I also got this guy, the Toy Island Talking Sonic. This one is from back then because of how the head is, because they re-released this one for Sonic X and completely messed up the head. And yeah, there's a button right here that you can press. The later releases didn't have that. There's also Tails and Knuckles in this toy line, but I've never gotten those. I've gotten the re-releases from Sonic X, but I never got like the original ones where they actually talked. And now those are rare. But I'm pretty confident this thing doesn't work because I tried putting batteries in it when I was a kid and it just stopped working. And I was sad because he said 2 things. He said, "Oh yeah, this is happening," like the first line he says in the game, and then "Ready to go, champ, let's go," when he reunites with Tails. Like, I love this toy so much. Like, again, I'm pretty confident that one was my first figure I ever had. But like, this one is like one of the first ones I remember getting. I love this figure so much. I love the way his head looks so much. And like, it reminds me more of like Sonic Heroes than anything because of like the shape of the quills and like how they go out and stuff. But no, this was Sonic Adventure, and I love these toys so much. But this guy has been heavily played with. So with that poor thing back there. Oh my goodness. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So, if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments, what do you think was the coolest thing I picked up for like this whole Sonic haul that I did? And I plan on doing another show until like around Christmas or so to show off some of the things I picked up before and during Christmas. So look forward to that when I do that video. And I have a whole bunch of other reviews and other things I want to show off like coming really soon. So I'm really excited for all that. So like I said, if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. And in the description, there's going to be my social medias. And thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you all in the next one. So peace, peace.